Hello, my name is Georgia and I will be fulfilling the role of civil celebrant for today's service. Friends and family, I would like to welcome you to this celebration of the life of Harold George Smith. When somebody we love dies unexpectedly, there is a tremendous amount of shock that follows. We are here today surrounded by family and friends, people who knew and loved Harold, to support one another, seek comfort and rejoice in the happy memories. While we gather with grief and sadness in our hearts, it is the family's wish today that it is also marked with gratefulness for a life lived with true joy, intent and love. I would like to begin today by reading Instructions by Arnold Crampton, a poem chosen by his family that reminds them of Harold's nature, what he loved to do, and what they believe he wished for his loved ones beyond his passing. When I have moved beyond you in the adventure of life, gather in some pleasant place and there remember me, with spoken words, old and new. Let a tear if you will, but let a smile come quickly, for I have loved the laughter of life. Do not linger too long with your solemnities. Go eat and talk, and when you can, follow a woodland trail, climb a high mountain, walk along the wild seashore. Chew the thoughts of some book which challenges your soul. Use your hands some bright day to make a thing of beauty, or to lift someone's heavy load. Though you mention not my name, though no thought of me crosses your mind, I shall be with you. For these have been the realities of my life for me, and when you face some crisis with anguish, when you walk alone with courage, when you choose your path of right, I shall be close to you. I have followed the valleys, I have climbed the heights of life. Harold, better known as Harry, was raised in Tamworth, New South Wales by his mother Daisy and his father Arthur Smith. He was the sporty kid all through his schooling years and enjoyed being on the swim team the most. This love of water from an early age continued to develop and flourish throughout Harry's life. Those who knew him closely knew that if you needed to find where Harry was, the first place was to look by the water. Not long after school graduation, Harry met Marion at a water polo function at the Tamworth Sports Club. They instantly hit it off, becoming best friends, and it became apparent to those that knew him that this would be a lifelong love. Harry had made the decision to move to Brisbane to complete his teaching studies, and Marion followed. They were married 2 years later, marking the beginning of a loving and a happy marriage. They grew their family in the following years, welcoming their daughter Tempest and their 3 sons, Adrian, Christian and Eric, who brought them so much happiness. They built their family home by the bay in Wynnum with water views and boat access so Harry could fulfill his passion for deep sea fishing. Harry entered as many competitions as time allowed and won many awards for his angling expertise throughout his life. While he enjoyed competing and partaking in professional deep sea fishing, he had no greater enjoyment of the sport than when he could take his 4 grandsons, Zale, Dylan, Kai and Fletcher, out on the boat to fish and pass on all the skills that he had learnt. 5 years ago, Marion passed due to ovarian cancer, and this was an incredibly tough adjustment for Harry and the family to continue family life without their dearly loved mother, who they often would describe as the glue of their family. The children remember growing up with parents as a constant adventure, always exploring new creeks, lakes and beaches with Dad and Mum always coming along, packing all the essentials and ensuring the kids had plenty of food and comfort to return to. Harry and Marion created a life worth admiration, full of love, adored children and cherished friends. They never took the good times for granted and always remained brave when times were tough. It is their belief that they are reunited now, hand in hand, together again. It feels fitting to the children and the family of Harry that he had passed while deep sea fishing with his best friend Franco. Though they were shocked at the tragic news, it is a comfort to know that he died while doing something he deeply loved with a friend by his side. In both life and death, they can remember him with a wide smile on his face. Tenderly and reverently, we now commit the body of our friend, Harold George Smith, to the purifying fire, and ultimately back to Mother Earth, from which all life comes and to which all life in the end must return. We are grateful for the life that has been lived and for all the life that it means to each and every one of us. Hereby may we highly resolve that while we live, we will strive with all our might to make our living of real worth and carry on the work that has been laid down. So in the consciousness of work well done and a life well lived, death in the deepest sense can have no sting. We now leave the ashes of our friend in peace. With respect we bear him farewell. Thinking of him, let us leave this place of quietness of spirit and leave with concern and affection for one another. Behind me, we will begin to play a slideshow of photos compiled by Harry's family that reflects his joy for life, milestones, and all the things he loved most. While this plays, I call upon you to observe, and for those of you who are believers, may take this time to pray. For those of you who are not, just wish to take this time to reflect on the meaning of Harry's life that it had for you. Today, we have honoured and celebrated Harry's life. We say our goodbyes, but we hold on to our memories dearly. If you want to share those memories or just some refreshment, you're warmly invited to join the family nearby Harry's favourite fishing spot from 12 through to 3 this afternoon at Wynnum Bay Pub. You will find all the details on the second page of your service guide. Thank you for coming.